Since President Trump was sworn into office on January 20th, his entire administration, as you know, has worked diligently toward the goal of improving our federal government's efficiency. I happen to serve on the subcommittee for higher education and workforce development, and a strategy that the administration has used to improve efficiency and interagency agreements are of great interest to me. Between the Department of Education and the Department of Health and Human Services, I believe 3 IAAs titled the Education Department, Health and Human Services Foreign Medical Accreditation Agreement, the Child Care Access Means Parents and School Agreement, and the Family Engagement and School Support Agreement have been implemented between the Department of Education and Health and Human Services. My first question to you is, how has that transition gone of moving education programs like C-Campus and NCF-MEA from the Department of Education to Health and Human Services, in your opinion?
Well, so far, I have not heard of any bumps. I can't tell you all the details of the move, but I will hear it if there's a problem.
Right, I understand that. So when discussions regarding the IAAs began, were there some specific benefits or things that you saw that Health and Human Services could actually bring to these education department programs? I know you mentioned earlier some of them just belonged or fit better in Health and Human Services. What are some benefits you think maybe we've been able to see?
Well, in terms of the foreign policy issues, CDC, we're in 64 countries around the world. We have one of CDC's major portfolio items is foreign policy. And so international relations is what we do, and that fits perfectly with what we're doing. The other functions are mainly healthcare functions. They're related to public health and disabilities and special education, and those fit perfectly, align perfectly with what we're already doing and what we think we probably can do better than the Department of Education.
Right. Well, with those 3 interaction agencies or interagency actions in place, are there plans for HHS to enter other IAAs, either with the Department of Education or other agencies that maybe as this efficiency effort is being made, that you can see coming in the future that will help improve government efficiency?
Yes, there are, and we are talking to other agencies about that now.
Okay.
It's not something that I would be prepared to go into details.
I understand, completely understand. I also want to, switching gears real quickly, I've been encouraged to see the administration working to restore common sense policies across all agencies, and it's already been touched on by several of my colleagues here today. One of those policies is prohibiting the transgender medical interventions on children. It was also referenced a little earlier today, the executive order. And the executive order from January 28 states it's the policy of the United States that it will not fund, sponsor, promote, assist, or support the so-called transition of a child from one sex to another, and it will rigorously enforce all laws that prohibit or limit these destructive and life-altering procedures, end quote. Now, some reports that I have seen have shown that many hospitals and health systems have actually temporarily or indefinitely rolled back the transgender surgery and treatment for minors and some young adults because of these executive orders. Just quickly asking, from your perspective, does that match these reports I've seen to the general trend that you're seeing as a Secretary of Health?
Yeah, we're seeing that trend across the board, and particularly with the suspension of Medicaid and Medicare funding for the hospitals that host these procedures. I think that's going to have a universal impact.
Well, I want to join my other colleagues that have mentioned it in thanking you for your role as Secretary of Health and Human Services to take action to end chemical and surgical mutilation of children, and I'm very grateful for your service. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.